If I come out of this thing if I come out of a school and I'm ready to walk in and I think I'm ready, what don't I know yet outside of the soft skills? Or maybe you can give us some particular ones in there. You mentioned like nanny mafia, like it's going to hit you in the side of the head. Well, they never talked about this shit in school, right? I never had that. I never had that experience. There was never that role play that happened or whatever. And if I'm the potential client, like how do I go about knowing or finding the right type of person to fit the role that I need them to fit?
Yeah, man. So one with the schools, unfortunately, and I'm not, there are some awesome schools out there, but some of the trends I've seen is that the instructors aren't actively working in the industry. The instructors are instructors.
Mm.
And so this industry is changing exponentially. I read a Forbes report before the pandemic that said this industry was going to double in the next 10 years. You add in the pandemic there and everyone being scared and everyone wanting security, we have seen just exponential growth. It's probably going to quadruple the amount of private security professionals that are in demand. As a business owner, I am having to scour the earth for high quality
for good protectors.
Yeah. So high quality people are in a great time to get into the industry. So with that having been said, the principals very rarely actually see the resumes or know what to look for. The hiring managers are the ones that are actually looking at the resumes. But with a lot of the schools, they'll teach you how to do executive protection. And you might even get on a detail because you know how to do executive protection from a good school. But guys don't make it because they make all these other little mistakes with regards to the social dynamics package. Because I didn't come from one of these big schools. All my content is straight up on the job. I had to cut my teeth on one of the hardest details in the industry. Then I left there and I went and I chased the pager and became a domestic contractor, which means I worked for like 5 different companies in a region. And I just took different gigs for every client demographic and worked with, it was like pick up basketball games all week long, all month long, different teams, different clients, and really kind of found a way to climb that way. And I did that on the East Coast, then came back and did that on the West Coast and rebuilt from the door again. Yep. A lot of guys are bouncing right now, trying to figure out how to get into the industry. So that experience has turned out to be, based on what my students are telling me, like, man, this is the most real world course that I've ever gone to. And then when I go to other courses, I'm kind of like, this is more like the classroom, right? So when you walk out of one of those courses, you might know how to do executive protection, but you won't know, you'll be at a disadvantage when it comes to how to survive on a detail. And the reason why is because you're in these high stress environments. You're the king's court, right? Like, so you say the wrong thing at the king's table, you're done. You rented a Ford and the client likes Chevy, you're done. You know what I'm saying? You got Aquafina water and the client wants Fuji, you're done. Like, go home. And it's like Shark Tanky, you know what I mean? So you wore a red shirt, he doesn't like red, you know what I mean? So it can be one of the most unfair industries, right? But when you're in these situations where everyone's a little bit on edge because they don't want to upset the blue bloods, right? You start to see like the prisoner's dilemma kind of thing come in, where like everyone starts to want to protect themselves, and you can find yourself in an environment where competition starts to rule over cooperation.
Wow.
Anytime competition rules over cooperation, you have a high attrition environment. So everyone's afraid, doesn't trust anyone else, and they're protecting themselves. This is in your own EP team, and this is in all your auxiliary team members with the house staff and the nannies and the butlers. And so you will be behind the power curve, realizing where alliances are. Can you create alliances? And your alliances and all these different factors are really what's going to make it so you actually survive, not how awesome you are at all the things you learned at your school. And what I teach people how to do is how to subversively disarm everyone in your environment and actually start to show them and prove to them that cooperation is superior to competition. And it creates an environment where everyone's actually way safer. So if you watch like Darwin tonight, like if you watch the Discovery Channel tonight, and Darwin talks about both of these principles, the survival of the fittest, which is what everyone focuses on. But then there's also survival of the pack, elimination of the weakest, which is really how we all actually win. It's a more abundant mindset, but it makes it safer for everyone. Which gazelle gets eaten? The one that's by itself, that it doesn't keep up with the pack.
Trying to be a loner. Yep.
Right. So we learn how to create strong packs and winning teams and actually the client wins because having one all-star is like cool, but if that one all-star, when they make a mistake or when they get in a war with like the PAs who have more personal assistants who have more power than them, then the whole security team looks like trash, right?
Falls apart.
You have a team of all-stars like the dream team, at least in your client's perception, there's way more stability for everyone. So I guess long answer, but
it's a great answer, man. That's a great answer. Again, I think it clears up probably a lot of things for anybody that's struggling maybe in their own position or in their transition into one, or hasn't figured out why they got the boot on the last one they were on. And
we'll call you back if we need anything.
Yeah. Don't call us, we'll call you. And and the and again, the principals out there that maybe are frustrated, tired, and quite frankly, maybe a little fearful of all the change that they constantly see happening within the environment of the team that's around them.